I mean, where do I even start with you? Do you even know who you're talking to? Hey guys, it's Scout here today with my first ever video on this channel, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to make a bunch of the food items for Team Fortress 2. Alright, so a lot of people asked me to make this video ever since I made that post about a month back about all the, my last day of school, lunch and stuff like that, all the stuff that I brought, the Sandvich, the Bonk, the Dalokohs Bar, and the second banana. So, today I'm going to teach you guys how to make all four of those in order from easiest to hardest. Alright, let's go. So, the second banana is a frickin' banana. So what you gotta do is grab a banana. Thank you. Alright, the next one up is the Sandvich. Now you could say it's a little bit harder or a little bit easier than the Bonk. Personally, I think it's a little bit easier than the Bonk because, like, you're just making a sandwich. So, what you gotta do, alright, is you gotta get all your ingredients and stuff like that. Now, I'll list them in order, alright? So here we go. So here's the order that you're gonna need your stuff. So first, we start off with our bread, of course. You're gonna need bread for every sandwich. It's basic principle, alright? So, what you gotta do is take your bread, get 2 slices out, alright? Next up is your meats, alright? So, the 2 meats that go on the sandwich are the ham and the bologna, alright? Now, you can do this in any order, it doesn't really matter. Personally, I like going the ham and then the bologna, but you can do bologna ham, it doesn't matter, alright? Next up is your cheese, alright? Now, no matter what anyone tells you, I'm going to tell you right now, the sandwich comes with Swiss cheese, not any other cheese, it's just Swiss, alright? Good old white Swiss. So you're just going to need some Swiss cheese. Personally, I like to do 2 slices, one on one side and one on the other, but you can do it either way you want. Next up is the lettuce, alright? Personally, I like romaine lettuce, because you get the leaf, you just break it in half, and then boom, you got 2 square slices of lettuce. You can do a head of lettuce, it doesn't really matter. You can do it either way you want. Again, it doesn't matter. As long as you have lettuce, that's all I care about. And then finally, your tomato, alright? There's a few ways to slice it. You can slice it however you want. You can do circles, you can do wedges, it doesn't matter. Circles is where you just take your tomato and you just chop, 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 chop. Wedges where you cut it in half and then cut it in half again and then chop on the sides and stuff like that. You can do it either way you want, it doesn't matter. But personally, wedges is easier, circles is harder, but you can do it either way you want, alright? Now last but not least, I can't forget, you gotta get your olives, alright? Olives on the toothpick, they go on after you cut the sandwich in half. I will tell you, there are hard ways to cut the sandwich in half. Personally, whenever I take my knife, doing it like this, it makes the sandwich all crazy. It makes it go everywhere, alright? So personally, I like laying the sandwich flat on a cutting board and just press it down, alright? Giving it a little bit of a wobble and stuff like that, but just pressing it down, and it'll come right in half perfectly fine, alright? And then you take your 2 toothpicks, you put one on one side, one on the other, you get your olives, you put them on top, and boom, that's how you make the sandwich. It's easy as cake. You got your sandwich. That's how it's done. Man, with the sandwich this great, I can see why the heavy's so fat.
I'm coming for you!
Now, next up is my favorite, the Bonk. Alright, but to do this first, we're gonna have to go outside. So let's go. Alright, that's more like it. Now, first, Bonk starts off with the drink, obviously. You can grab any drink. It just has to be a 16-ounce can. Alright, so you're also going to need some sticker paper and a printer. So I left a print in the description down below that you can use. And you're going to need to print that onto the sticker paper, peel the sticker paper, put it onto the can. We'll get to that. But first, we need to get this label off. Or most of it. So, the way the print works, it doesn't cover the entire can. So you're just going to want to have some clearance, you know? So, personally what I do is I do around the entire top, down to about like right here, and then I do a line down this right here. So that we're gonna start with that. Hey, knuckleheads, it's me, Scout from the future. I just want to let you guys know what exactly I'm doing here. So, soda cans come printed with the label. You can't just peel them off, so you have to shave it off using something rough, like steel wool or sandpaper. We're not taking the entire label off. Most of us gotta go, because the print doesn't cover the entire can. Also, if you don't know what drink to get, the actual flavor of Bonk is cherry, so you can try to find a cherry soda or a drink to match the label. Now, I'm gonna take us to the next step. Let's go. Now, once you're done, it should look something like this, alright? You got your line right there, and then you got a little around the top, stuff like that. Don't worry about how messy it looks, don't worry about keeping it straight and stuff like that. All this is gonna be covered up by the sticker paper. So let's go back inside. Now, one thing you do want to do before you try and put it on sticker paper is wash this off, alright? You got a bunch of dirty metal stuff all over it, and like paint and stuff like that. You just want to take your sink, and you want to wash it all off. Especially my hands. Look at my hands. That's why I took my wraps off, alright? You just want to really get all this stuff off. Make sure it's not super dirty or anything like that. Hey guys, it's me, Scout from the future again. So, I'm going to tell you what exactly I'm doing right here. So, the sticker paper printout is in the description, but you're going to need the sticker paper, obviously. So, it'll come with 2 sheets, and you have to cut it out to match the label. And then, once you cut it out, you peel it off, and you put it on your can. Make sure the bottom aligns with the sticker so it matches up, and you get a nice wrap and stuff like that. And then make sure you rub it around tight, make sure it's nice and good, and there you go. You'll be done. So, the Dalokohs Bar is easily one of the hardest ones to make out of this entire list. So, it was actually confirmed by the creator of the Dalokohs Bar that you need milk chocolate to make the bar. So here, I got a bag of milk chocolate chips. This is all you need. You could try and make your own chocolate if you want to get fancy schmancy, but honestly, if you're just starting off simple, I'd recommend just getting some milk chocolate and melting it down. I'll teach you guys how to do that. So, the way you want to do this is, you're going to use this technique called the double boil method, which is basically we're going to take a bowl of water, put another bowl on top of it, and then boil the water so it heats the bowl that's on top of it. So, once your water starts boiling, you can open your bag of chocolate chips and pour it inside. Now, you can use a whisk or a rubber spatula. By the way, you have to keep mixing the chocolate chips no matter what. Do not stop or else you'll burn your chocolate and you'll have to start all over again. Now, just keep mixing, making sure that you use a glove to hold the bowl steady. And as you keep mixing, it'll melt slowly more and more until you get a consistency like this. Now, once your chocolate is all melted, you can pour it into a mold. You can find Dalokohs Bar molds online, or you can just use a square container like I do in a second. Now, pour your chocolate into the container, line it with parchment paper, and then throw it into the fridge or freezer until it's solid. Alright, now that you've given your chocolate time to dry up and stuff like that, it's time to take it out. Now, this is where the parchment paper comes in handy, because you can literally just pop it out like that. It's not stuck to this or anything like that. You can just toss this aside. It's done. You don't need it anymore. Now, as you notice, this isn't really in the shape of a chocolate bar. Whenever I take this parchment paper off and stuff like that, it's not going to look very rectangular. So, what do? Obviously, we cut it down, alright? Now, we're cutting it down for 2 reasons. One, to get all these weird bumps out and stuff like that to make it more straight. But there's also another reason. And that is because the wrap that we use for this, it's not big enough to hold all of that. So, let's cut it down. Now, there are a few ways to do this. I mean, obviously you use a knife for all of them, but you can heat up the knife or something like that. You can run it under hot water to make it easier. But if your chocolate isn't too frozen, honestly, I just recommend just cutting it. As is. Alright, so you give it a nice good slice or 2, crease it a little bit, and then you press down. Just like that. One side already done. Alright. Got a little piece of chocolate. You need some of them. Pretty good. Now for the other side. Now once you cut it down to size, it should look a bit smaller. Now remember, the printout. have the link for this in the description. It's a lot bigger, alright? You want it to be like that because you have to wrap the thing. Now, obviously, you're not going to wrap the chocolate just paper and call it a day. You want an extra layer. So, my recommendation, use aluminum foil, alright? You take a good sheet of aluminum foil, it's about that big. Take the chocolate, you put it over top, wrap the chocolate. Press it down nice and flat. Make sure it actually wraps around and stuff like that, and voila, you got it. Really, all you need to do. Then after that, remember, logo goes vertical, so you take it like this, place it down flat, take your chocolate bar, put it on top, alright? Now it should look something like this. Now, what you gotta do, you gotta take it, you gotta wrap this way, and then wrap the other way, alright? Now, you can seal this with tape or glue, it doesn't matter, just as long as it's sealed. Alright, I'm gonna go grab some tape. Now, I'm almost done taping this, alright? I already got one side. I'm gonna show you guys how to do it like this. What you gotta do is, once you get it like this, you have it taped across. You wanna take it, you wanna fold it like this, alright? Just so you get like that, and then you wanna bring it over. Alright? Make sure it's nice and tight. Now, obviously, mine is a little bit too small, but you can make yours a little bit longer, so the logo actually extends across the whole thing. I'm just doing this to show you guys how to do it. But there you go. You got the Dalokohs Bar. Overall, this whole project has really inspired me, and it turned out way better than I expected. And I hope to do a lot more content like this with you guys in the future. If you really enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. I promise I'll upload more quality content just like this. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.